morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict joined by Eric Shamalov. My office is still freezing. It's 62 degrees, no heat in Florida. I don't know who invented this, but it's pretty bad. A lot to talk about today. Kind of the same stories across the board. Market yesterday on equities sold off down to the lows of basically the year almost, and almost got negative on the year. And then the plunge protection team, whoever these clowns are, came in and bought the market up $60 on an air in the last hour. And then you come in today and there's not a lot of trading. Um, you know,
Not a lot of trading, but it's interesting. Eli Lilly had a good earnings report, up about 10%. So I think that's feeding into some strength, relative strength in ES versus NASDAQ.
Yeah, I don't think Eli Lilly um, has ever really had that much of a market impact on this stuff. But you know, we'll you know we'll basically we'll see. Just interesting day yesterday. Um, just in general, I mean, we came on the air yesterday. We talked about a $20 straddle, okay, which made no sense. It never does. Out of the money puts were a dollar that were 30 points out of the money. They went to $100 during the day. So that's like a lotto ticket. And then they went back to 20. Um, and there's a lot to talk about. Trying to understand what's going on, trying to understand why after the market has been open for the year 2026 for a month and a couple of days that the S&P is up 30 handles, but we move 70 handles every hour, which is Ken and Jane's game. They want to keep that game going, gammetize people. And when I say gammetize people, I mean just making options go through so many strikes that people have to make moves that they don't want to make. And, this is going to end. Okay. This is going to end. They're going to lose control of the manipulated rig that's going on. You know, it's funny. There's probably someone watching today that I'm friendly with that we talk a lot. And, you know, all the market is a sector rotation. Okay. Oh, today, like you even said it before we got on the air. Oh, they're selling Nasdaq. That means they're going to buy Dow or S&P. Or I mean, it's like it's all a computer linked model, and we're just pawns in the game. So you just have to remember that. And you know, today Nasdaq is down almost 70 and the S&P is up 8 handles. So I mean, I don't know. But I guess that's the flavor of today. Metals, I actually had the move in metals. I'm selling all of my metals today. At minimum half, but maybe all. The move in silver is, I mean, these moves, like you look at S&P and like we're freaking out about a 40 handle spoon move, which isn't even a 0.5%. And silver on Monday traded $71. It's now $91. Okay. That's up $20 on 70. Oh, that's a massive move, right? Massive move. It's almost a 30% move. Okay. And that's in literally less than 2 trading days. That's sick. You don't agree?
I think it is. I mean, where do you think we go from here? You're long right now. You want to take profit on that trade, and nice pickup there on the.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the market should back and fill in gold to under 5,000. I think the maniacs are running the asylum, but they're maniacs, so you just don't know what it can do. Nothing is sacred. levels are sacred, no anything, you know? I mean, we talked yesterday and you were like looking up 30 handles and spoos for you to change your mind, and 30 handles and spoos is like bid and offer. I mean, it's just not anything there.
Well, it wasn't 30 handles. It was more
Well, it
like
was 30 handles at the end of the day. It wasn't 30 handles when you said it. It was 70 handles, but we rallied 40 at the end of the day, or 50, and then you're right back in line, and here we sit, is what I'm saying. And what do you do? If you're a trader, like, you can't you, there's you know nothing to do, you know
um is there nothing to do? I mean, there's a lot of there, you mentioned reversion. There's a lot of I think this is like a stock picking year. If you're one of these investors and traders that is looking for value stocks to go long, and you think that the tech trade is overvalued, this looks like your year so far. I mean, that trade has been on the money all year long. You can pretty much go long any value stock, right? And just paired with any
Eric, but
over.
that trade isn't even out a percent. It's barely out even a percent. I don't know where, yeah, we do what we're doing today, and then tomorrow NASDAQ blows up to the upside. And, that's the RSP trade that we like a lot, which is, basically equal weighted S&P versus the S&P 500. It's kind of the same thing because it's very tech heavy. That trade, is working, but then all of a sudden it's working and then it's not working. So, again, this is, we're in Disneyland of computer linking. I always make a joke that your son is in the back room playing a video game and trading at the same time. And that's what's going on here. Either they're going to take this trade out more today or they'll revert back. If you watched last night on the close, NASDAQ was extremely heavy. I mean, extremely heavy. And the S&P was rallying, 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 and the NASDAQ really wasn't rallying. And then literally with 5 minutes to go in the day, they brought Nvidia back a little bit, and the NASDAQ outperformed the S&P in the last 10 minutes of trading to get sort of closer to back in line. So, I mean, all this is computers. It's just computers, and when is the time
I
coming?
think it's more of a I think it's more of a repricing of growth. That's now a trade that's like 5 months into it. This is what
Eric,
I'm saying.
let me ask you a question. Are the Qs down on the year? Is the Nasdaq down on the year? No. So
Good
the
point.
bottom line is, when you say they're repricing growth and they're wanting to get out and buy a bunch of hunks of junk, yeah, I mean that's sort of the mantra, but that trade is not even close to playing out yet. Just my opinion. I don't
So you're
see it.
saying there's more upside in that idea?
You do.
Do you?
Um,
Do you
yes,
think at the end of the
yes.
year? Yeah. So
You asked me the question. I'm going to answer it. Yes, I do think that, because I think the market is going to go lower. But the answer to your question, as far as that goes, if the market goes higher, there's no way it can go higher in a significant way without the Mag 7 or, crazy stocks. It just can't. It just cannot. Too many, you know, people are investing. I'll tell you a funny story. Yesterday, when we were on the lows, no lie, I got 4 texts from people that I'm crushed. What do I do? Is it that bad? Like, are they actually really crushed? I can't imagine they're crushed.
I think they
Nobody
are.
can.
I think they are. I think they are. You just look at Microsoft's chart. I mean, and look at Microsoft. Look at Palantir. Look at all of the entire software sector. Look at Amazon. Look at Nvidia. And imagine yourself
But
back in late October, or back at the end of last summer, with the market at the high. All these people were kept re-upping the buy, kept buying calls. So yeah, when they're telling you they're crushed, I truly think
Yeah, but these people are
having
paper. They're Eric. They're paper tigers. They're paper tigers. Nvidia is still 180. Okay, it's not 50 or 80 or 100. That's a crushing. That's what happened in 2022. No one sold, so they got their money back. But in 2022, Meta went from 400 to $80. Okay, these stocks got annihilated. What I'm telling you, just from me watching the tape, these people are paper tigers. They're not even really down money, you know, but there's a whole new formulaic thing in the market that I'm going to just lay out there. Okay. I don't know what we're going to call it, but it's the effect of making money in the market and living on the money. So this is a market where people are making money and living on the money. So they made money in Nvidia last year, not a lot, but they made money. They took the money, they lived on it, and not they may own Nvidia at 150, but they're marked to market because that money that they made on Nvidia has been spent. You know, um, even in my family, my kids live off the stock market. Okay, their extra money comes in at the end of the year to help pay all their bills and live their life off of making 20% return on equities in the stock market, and they live on it. So their balance isn't up. You know, listen, wealthy people, it's a different story. But the common people that are in this market are living on it. So it's like living on the profits. It's like, it's like, I'm a trader. I go year to year, you know, you can get paid out, whatever, but I like to go year to year. And if I'm living on my balance, if I had 1 million in my trading account, now I have 1,000,001 and I take a 100 grand out, what does that do? That takes me to market. And that's the problem here. The problem here is the guy calling me crying is actually not down money. They're not down money, Eric. How could they be down money? They're not down money. I mean, idiots are down money if they bought freaking Nvidia above 200 or 190. They're barely down. There are two things in this market. No one can handle losing. Nobody can handle losing. And then there's that factor that I just mentioned to you, which is really prevalent in the market right now. And that's people spending their profits to live. And I don't know if you see that, but I see that in a big way with either people that I know or, communities of older people. My mother's 86 years old. She has a lot of friends and they live in a country club. Okay. These people that are 80 plus are 75, 80, 90% equities. Why? Why would you be like that? Can you explain it?
I can't. I don't know. It's all kind of esoteric to me. But what I do want to bring, I really don't know. I don't know. You're talking about
Well,
a cohort
what I'm talking about,
somewhere in Florida. I
dude,
have no idea.
listen, let me talk. What I'm talking about, okay, is very, very simple. Okay. What I'm talking about is, is that people retired, inflation hit, they retired with too little money. So where they should have when you're 80 plus years old, you should have no exposure to what. Let me ask you a question. Why does an 80-year-old need exposure to equities? Do you have any reason? Tell me the reason.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know, dude. I'm not
Dude,
80.
you're out of it today, dude. Why would
I
an
don't
80-year-old.
know about Nvidia. I don't know. I
What are
don't
you
know about
talking
these
about?
esoteric things.
I'm just asking you a generic question. Why would an 80-year-old need to have exposure to equities? They're not growing wealth, they're living out the string, but they're all in equities. They're all talking about Bitcoin. They're all talking about silver and gold and Nvidia and Mag 7. That, I mean, isn't that the problem?
Maybe they're just excited. They like it. It excites them. It
Oh, it's
gives them.
gambling. You're right. It's gambling.
Yeah,
It pays
so
free money. It's a
let
slot
them have
machine. Eric, listen. I hope for you in your life when you're 80 that you never have to buy equities. Buy 10%, 20%. These people are 80, 90, 100% in equities because I'm just proving out a point. They need the money. They need the money. My kids, the generation of 20, 30, and maybe even 40-year-olds need the equity returns to pay for their lifestyle because their lifestyle is so expensive just in general. So that's where this problem is. They have a false sense that the stock market is here to print you out money. Okay. And every year you're going to be up without exception. And now it's getting a little rocky, and it's not even rocky. We're not even down. And people are texting me. I'm telling you, I'll get Thomas to put this together. We'll show it on the screen. Oh my God, I'm getting killed in Nvidia. What do I do? My positions are not making money. What do I do? How do I hedge? I mean, what's going on out there? That's all I'm saying. I just think,
I think the biggest point that you're making, which I think is actually a really big point, is the reason why asset prices fall. It's when people need cash, and I think there's a lot of that going on with Bitcoin because all the people in Bitcoin. You think about the Bitcoin trader, and I know I'm a bull on Bitcoin. You can get on me. I know it's down. It's fine. I'm not going to short it. But the typical person that's in Bitcoin is also, a fanboy of Palantir, is also a fanboy of the Mag 7. And so these things haven't been performing and they're in Bitcoin. And so they need cash. They need cash. And I think that's part of it. That's part of the reason this stuff isn't getting bid is because they need cash. Now, ultimately, what causes a bubble to ultimately pop is when people need cash and they start selling assets. So I think that is kind of like part of the point that you're making, right?
yeah, but I'm going to give you a little antidote to that point. Okay. Might freak your mind out a little bit, but I'm going to tell you something that I truly believe. The 2008 financial crisis, okay, basically only happened because of what you just said. People needed money. They were losing so much money. They had margin calls. No, listen, no guy is ever, and I mean the word ever, selling Nvidia in their portfolio. Ever. The word ever is in capital letters. Ever. You know when they're selling Nvidia? When the next financial crisis or the next big bear market comes and they get a tap on the shoulder and they basically have to sell. Dude, what person is telling you they want to take a profit in Nvidia? I'm just trying to, I just want to understand. What guy is calling you up and going, Nvidia hit my profit level, I'm getting out? No one. I have a friend, okay, who bought it at 110. He goes, if it gets to 140, I'm selling. It got to 140, didn't sell. He goes, oh, I'm waiting for 160. Gets to 160, didn't sell. It got all the way up to almost 220. He didn't make a sale. And now he's calling me and telling me he's wrecked. And he's still up money. So what kind of market are we in? Just tell me. It's a paper tiger.
Well, here's Nvidia. Well, here's a chart of Nvidia, and I'll tell you this: you're saying they're never going to sell it
Never,
until the next financial.
never,
Okay,
never,
all right.
never.
I will. I will gently disagree with you. Not
Okay. Okay.
fully
When are they going to
agree, but
sell it, Eric? They didn't sell it
gently.
220.
So
They
this
didn't sell it
chart.
200. Where are they selling it?
Okay. Well, what I will tell you is that this chart is looking a lot like the Palantir chart before Palantir fell. I've been talking
Palantir
a
isn't
lot
even,
about
stop it. Palantir isn't even down. Okay. How is Palantir is down from a ridiculous high, but is Palantir really down?
no,
Palantir should
but
be under $100. Okay.
okay.
It is a
Can we take a
government
step back?
contract
All right.
company. Timeout. I know the company well. I bought it before it got
I'm
public.
taking the charts off. I'm
Dude,
taking the charts. Go
dude,
ahead.
I bought it before it went public at $2. Okay. $2. I know it's the greatest company in the world. It's got government contracts. It doesn't do jack. Okay. It basically it has locked in contracts with the government. That's so much of their business. That that is going to change. That is going to change when the midterms hit. That is going to change when Trump gets done with his term. That's going to change. But people here are missing the point. They think they're down money and they haven't even gotten hit yet. That's the point. That's all I'm trying to show you. They are down money. Are they down money? You're telling me, they're crushed, like you agreed. How are they down money if they bought Nvidia at 120 and it's trading at 180? How are they down?
Well, the way that they're doing it, a lot of these retail traders are using options now, and you know how what they do. They wait for price confirmation, right? And then
Whoa,
they
whoa,
go
whoa,
in
whoa,
more.
whoa, 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 whoa,
They're
whoa. They're
basically
waiting for
momentum traders
price
on steroids.
confirmation? No, Eric. They're waiting for
No,
up prices to buy. That's what same thing that you love to do. You're
well, how is
calling it
that?
what is price confirmation? Price confirmation is an uptick in the market. That's price confirmation. There are no
Um,
levels. There's no level in Nasdaq right now that is sacred. Okay, there's no level. I mean, where's the level in Palantir that's sacred? That is a buy. The stock went from $80 last year to 210. What's the level? That's the
Let me
buy.
ask you a question. You've been bearish on Palantir a lot, right? You have been
I'm
bearish on
still
it. Have
bearish.
you? Right. So, have you taken any bearish positions on Palantir at all?
I took a bearish position into earnings. It didn't work. I still have a couple of days, but it didn't work. But I would say, yeah, I'm picking my spots. I do think the stock trades lower, um, a lot lower. I just don't understand how, dude. This is a meme. This is a meme stock. Okay. They actually say Palantir is a meme stock. I want to be so far away from meme. I mean, the memers got destroyed in silver and gold. Destroyed. I know you probably won't admit it, but a total destruction. Okay. Massive. The biggest crash, bigger than the 1987 crash, all in one day. And the memers are meming. That's it. They'll go somewhere else. Because they're not put.
You've been pounding the table on silver's ridiculousness above 100, right? So, I mean, like,
And I bought it 2 days ago in the 70s. Okay. And now
right, but why not short it above 100 is what I'm asking.
I'm going to short it today. I'm getting out of my long and probably shorting it today. Okay. I like the short and gold here for a trade. These are all for trade. You may get higher levels off the opening. A lot of this stuff is, how like an S&P at zero DTE, a lot of this stuff in silver and gold are these zero DTE options. So, moves get exacerbated because of zero DTE. I mean, come on, dude. Gold started the week. Where did gold start the week? 4,600, 4,700. I mean,
Mm,
dude, the thing is up like 15% in 2 trading days. That's not a lot. That's bigger than the S&P move for the year will be, unless we go down, you know.
what are you looking at SPX for
And
today?
silver is $92 a barrel, or 92. I'm calling it a barrel just because it doesn't matter. It's a hunk of shit. It could be crude. It could be, the memers are meming again. They're back in meming silver. You know, this is the market. I mean, come on, dude. The market was $71. It's now $92. It was $71 on Monday. Who is who is doing this? It's like they've come and they've left the stock market and they've gone to a legalized casino, which is silver. Silver's a legalized casino. You hear me? You don't think it's
Legalized?
what?
No. So, it's a legalized casino. I hear you. I hear you. In terms of SPX for today, um, I think there's a little bit of premium maybe kind of a layup kind of trade.
Don't
But
say it, dude. Don't say it, please.
I
You know
mean,
what? Don't
are
say
we
it.
getting back up to
It's
69?
actually a disrespect to our. It's a disrespect to our subscriber base, and it's a disrespect to the people listening. Okay, stop with
Oh,
the
really?
yeah. Stop with the iron condor selling the straddle. Listen. You have
Who's
to
selling straddle?
whatever. I don't know what you're doing. What are you saying? That this is great premium to sell?
Yeah, there's a lot of premium up there, 69.70, 69.75. I mean, you can get something out of that. Um,
Eric,
SPX,
the S&P, just hear me out. The S&P moved $70 off the low yesterday almost in less than an hour. Less than an hour. You want to mess around in that?
you think
Good
we're
luck.
going straight? You think we're going to go straight back up and
I don't
recover?
think we're going up at all. I think we're going down. Okay. But that's not, that's neither here nor there. I got to react to what's going on. And yesterday was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I always say that, but it's one of the crazier things I've seen. Okay. Where we sold down to the low on heavy volume. Option prices blew up, volatility for the next day. Straddle was, where's the straddle right now? 40? It was 70 yesterday. Where's the straddle?
Checking, checking.
Yeah, it's $39. You could have gotten almost 70 for that straddle. You had to pick the right straddle, but you could have gotten 70. We're back to a $40 straddle, which, you know what? One of these days it will work. And you could sell iron condors and a $40 straddle and basically be rewarded. But
Well,
I mean,
yesterday I had an in the money. We were talking right on the air in the morning. I had an when volatility gets this low, when the market is disrespecting, like you say, a $7,000 product with a 20-point straddle. I never go out of the money. I'm actually looking for opportunities to sell in the money call and put spreads that are trading at almost max loss. That's what I did yesterday. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but I was selling in the
what
money
I'm
iron doors yesterday. In the
well,
money. Where
I don't like doing that. It can work, but
you cannot
the
beautiful.
hit ratio on that is very low. I like a higher hit ratio when I'm trading like you're selling. Okay, so let's give an example. Okay, so the cash index is, I'm making it up. Let's say it's 28 30. Okay, you're going to sell a 10 even call spread. Okay, you're only getting paid if we go down 25 handles. Okay, so those in the monies work and they pay extraordinarily well. Like yesterday was a perfect example. We had
Perfect
a
example because the straddle was at 20. Today the straddle's at 40. I'm not looking to put that trade on. Now I'm
why
looking to
now why I think that
I'm getting
trade works. I think that trade works better in higher volatility. Why would it work better in lower volatility?
because you're not getting that spread almost at max loss. I want to sell it almost at max loss. I want to sell a 10-point spread for $8 or higher. And then actually
And
put
I'll tell you what, we'll run a back test because you're the king of back testing. I'll bet you that doesn't work 8 out of 10 times, maybe nine.
yeah, but the
I've
risk
traded
yeah,
it.
but
I've
the
traded
reward.
it.
Okay. Well, there's other stuff. I mean, you got to pick
No,
your
I'm
spot.
just saying. Listen.
It's
The
always in
payout,
favor.
Eric. The payout is an 8x or a 7x payout. So the payout when it hits pays out well, but you lose most of the time. Okay, for sure, most of the time, and probably
You don't have to
80%.
let it. You don't have to try to get it to expire worthless.
Well, that's
All
the
you
real money. I don't want to trade that spread for $2 or $3.
no, you're trading it for like you're trying to get 3-4 bucks on it, but you get that 3-4 bucks, especially like a little bit later in the day, only on a like a 7 or 10 point
Well, you get
move.
that on the decay of the options, 100%. 100%.
So that's what I'm saying. Like today, I wouldn't try to put that on because I'm not getting those spreads of max loss because now your straddle's at 40. So the market's already saying, hey, there's
Yeah,
a shot.
but a $40 straddle, dude, it's all commiserate to what the internal vol is and what the vol on the straddle, what the straddle is. So yes, yesterday they weren't pricing in a 20 handle move. They were wrong. Okay. They had a $20 straddle. Today they're pricing in a $40 move, Eric. They're either going to be right or wrong. We're going to move 80 handles today or we're going to move 15. So they're either going to be right or wrong. So that spread is price basis what's going on in the underlying thought process of how much the market can move. And the one thing that's beautiful about options is options gives you that. It gives you the opportunity to see that pricing and to make a decision. You can, I'm not going to use the word bet, but put positions on whether that listen, you could right now sell that straddle at 40, leave your apartment, put on your wetsuit and go swimming, okay, in zero, and come back later. You're either going to be right or wrong. Same thing with the call spread. You're going to be right or wrong. Yes, and you have the ability to take it off during the day. You can take it off. 100%. You can take it off. So, you know, that's what I would say.
There's a lot of premium out there today. I think it's going to be an interesting day. Nasdaq tried to make a move up, right back. AMD had bad earnings. I know, like SMCI is up, but I don't know. It's
Where's Nvidia today? I think that stock, if it goes down another $10, can hurt people.
well, like I was saying before, I had the charts up. You wanted to talk about old people buying equities and dividends, but Nvidia's trading kind of flat today. 179. And I was saying it looks like the Palantir chart before Palantir broke through its 200-day moving average. A lot of these Mag 7s are, I think, threatening to, like Microsoft's already way below that 200-day moving. To me, the 200-day moving average is a test of a long-term trend. To see Microsoft so way below that level is very concerning for the market. And Nvidia looks like it's going to want to test that. It looks exactly like the Palantir chart right before Palantir dropped. So that's what I'm saying. I think you're saying that it's going to require a financial crisis to get Nvidia down. I think maybe it happens a little bit before the financial crisis or a financial
I never
crisis.
said anything about a financial crisis. I I said that the only time anyone is going to sell Nvidia is when they have to. I don't know how you don't agree. Nobody. Okay. Now listen, meme traders are different. You know, us trading, we're different. I'm talking about the investing public, the people that are long this thing, over long this thing, waiting for it to go up, crying on my phone every day. Okay. I got crying, dude. There's no crying in trading. Okay. I'm just letting you know. You know how there's no crying in baseball? There's no crying in trading. Okay. But people have been set up over the last 4 or 5 years with an insatiable appetite to continue to buy. And it's funny, you talk about and this is very funny to me. You always say price level and dude, all you're looking at is up pricing to buy. You're not buying low pricing. You don't like buying gold at 4,500, but you do like buying it at 5,500. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's the mentality of the of
I, honestly, I really don't know what you're talking about.
what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about is when I called you 2 days ago and I said you should really buy this gold. It's fucking crushed. Like you're like, oh, it's gonna consolidate and da 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 da. And there's no it's gone, dude. You can't buy. You buy the next dip in
I'm
gold,
not
and
buying.
you will
Don't
get
think it's gonna
destroyed.
consolidate.
You will get
I'm not
destroyed.
buying gold here. I'm
What?
not buying gold. Well, why don't you tell everyone how I was shorting silver at
Dude,
117?
you're one of the greatest traders I know. I mean, what do you want? Me to
Maybe I
pat you
am.
on the back? I'm not patting you on the back. All I'm
Talking
saying to you is when you talk
about
about timeout. When you talk about price action and when you say this, price discovery, whatever you call it, it's just up
Never use
price.
the word price
Eric, it's
discovery.
up
I like.
pricing. It's up pricing. It's up. It's
Okay.
up. It's just like it's just what it is, Eric. It's people want to buy up. They want up. They want to buy up. They don't care. And when the price goes down, do you know how much they buy? Do you know how much gold and silver was bought down there in the last couple of days?
You tell me you're the king of volume. I don't know.
Nothing. Nothing. This is a move on air. This is an air move. Okay. So the bottom line is they liquidated everybody out, record volumes on the downside. Okay. Then all of a sudden they took it back up to a place that no one should buy this right now. Like if you buy gold here, I'm not saying you can't go up 1%, 2%, but if you buy gold here, you're going to get hit. It's going to come in. So I would be
I agree.
careful. But
I agree. I am not, just because of the massive blow up that we had. And I'll tell you like how I'm looking at this. Like I'll share this
But
chart. Now you're
nobody,
gonna hate it.
Eric, but nobody cares. Do you understand? Because the price is high again, so they can buy. Do you understand? If the price is low, they can't buy. It's my saying that I always say. What do I always say? Buyers live higher
Higher
and sellers live lower. And the bottom line
or
is right now, no one can buy. Um,
So here, take a look at this chart. I know you think this data is fake, but these are inflows into gold. The What I look for is that big bar, that big spike where retail, that's to me the signature of when retail comes in. And it looks like they came into GLD with a vengeance on January 16th. Now that you had the blow up, the way that I look at it is okay, well, we're going to have to consolidate around January 16th levels. And that's like, three, $400 lower. So until we get strength there, like
but if we
there's
get,
a
dude, if we get,
January 16th levels, that's where I would be comfortable based on where I think retail came in, which is this big spike down here. That bar, that's where they put in 1.5 billion inflow in one day. And these inflows, when you see a big spike like that, like I said, that's the signature of retail. That's usually a crescendo, but this time gold went up an additional $1,000 an ounce. Now it's back down to 5,000. I think we consolidate around January 16th levels before we head up, and then I think
why
gold
would
hits
we ever go back down there and then go up? If we go back down there, we're going down. We're not going up. If
Well,
gold comes
you
in three or four hundred
and you
dollars, it's
say,
going to take the low out of the move. 100%
"Oh,
take the
okay."
low out.
I don't, I don't think so.
Dude, I know. I'm just saying, but that's the difference in how you are looking at a market and how I look at a market. Okay. And to
Okay,
me, the market was a 10-star buy after we bottomed. Okay. Because the volume dried up. That means everybody who had a sell sold. So that's how I look at the market. And my thought is I want to sell gold at 5,100 where it's trading now. 5,100. It's not 5,000. It's very close to 5,100. Yesterday it was 4,800. I want to sell that move, okay? And then I would want to press if we got down 200, 250, because now you have people wounded again. The buyers who bought are now going to be losing money. And the level that you're looking at down 2 or 300, dude, gold was up 300 yesterday. That's one day's trading. How can that be a level to you? That is okay. I'm just saying. The movement, you're not adjusting for the movement. Gold's up 150 today. Listen,
okay,
you've traded gold more than I have. Okay. We've traded together in gold for the last 5 years, 4 years. We have never in the last 5 years had a 2% day in gold. Like that was an outside day. The move that happened in gold was slowly up every single day, 1%, a half a percent. 1.5% was outsized. That was 100 points. 100 points was a massive move. Dude, we're moving hundreds every day. So how could you think that going down 2 or 300, which is a 1 day move, it's a 1 day move, is a level that you think is okay?
I
That's
just
what
told
I'm not
you.
understanding.
I just told you because that's where I
Then
think we
why
need
didn't
to
you
head.
buy it when it was 4,500 or 4,600?
I don't need
Now,
to
the next
participate
time
in
down, you
every
want to buy
yo
it?
yo yo yo. Chill out. I don't need to participate in every gold rally. I've had most of them, so it's okay.
Eric, I'm not saying, dude, this is the
You know,
biggest one we've had.
gold rally, and now what?
Wait a
Now
second, time out. This is the biggest gold rally in 2 days that we've ever had in the history of gold. I know no one's even looking at it or talking about it, but gold has rallied double digits in the last 2 trading days, basically.
all
So
right.
that you
So
don't think that that's
maybe
the
print. I
you,
hope you print
but
money,
wait,
dude.
but you cannot buy this dip. That's all I'm telling you. If you get back to 4,800 in gold, it's going to the low.
To the
100% it's going
low.
to the low. Now, yeah,
What
could
level?
you buy 48s and tick trade it? Of course you can. But if you buy 48s and you think you're getting back to 51s, it ain't happening. Okay? And I'm not saying we're going to come down there. We may not even come down to that level. I don't know what we're going to do. But
Maybe we
to
will
me,
have to
so
adjust. I mean, my ultimate target for gold is much higher than here.
and the reason is what?
The same reason I've been fighting with you on the air about gold going up since it was a 2000.
What is it?
All of the
What's the
macro
reason?
trends are still in place.
Is it the same reason in Bitcoin where you said it was going to replace money and you'd never sell it and all these
Credit
things?
money.
What is the reason? I'm just trying to understand what's the reason. Is this going to be the new dollar? They're going to
It's it's
need
it's
gold as a dollar.
it's a
What's the
moot point
reason?
to argue. It's a moot point
No,
to
I know,
argue.
but what is the reason?
Premise, hold up. Your world outlook on gold is that it's not really money. It's not should never even be considered money. Although for thousands of years it is hard money. It's just now we have
Dude, they
I
took away
forget.
the gold standard in the 70s. Okay. So that the bottom line is it is not money.
Okay,
Okay. Yes, you the same way I
exactly.
could sell time
Arguing
out, the
with that
same way you could
premise.
sell your baseball cards or I could sell art for money, gold is the same thing. There is a market, you can flip it the same way you can flip Microsoft or Nvidia for money. It is not money. Okay.
It's not
So
the
let's
same.
be
It's not
clear
the
about
same.
that.
No,
It's not
no,
money.
it's not. That's not a good analogy because central
Dude,
banks
all
aren't
I'm trying to do on the air, and we're gonna have to wrap
central
in
banks
2
aren't buying art or baseball cards, right? Central banks aren't buying art or baseball cards. What
Okay,
are they
so
buying?
you want to buy gold because central banks are buying, but you know
Yes,
they're buying. But you know
yes.
they're buying. So they're artificially buying. Wait, the Bank of India is buying gold every single day. Dude, the meme guy in his underwear in his race chair is buying more gold combined than India or any central bank can buy on a daily basis. So don't kid yourself, okay? This was
All
all
right.
caused this was caused by a meme. And how I don't want to argue it anymore, but how you're not seeing this is beyond me.
What do you
Okay?
want me to see? What do you
I
want me to
want you
see?
to see that gold is moving 2 to 3% every single day. And for the last 5 years, and Thomas tomorrow will pull this up, gold didn't have a 3% move probably in a year, okay? Or
Okay, I see it.
4% move, and it's moving that a day. So
I see it.
this is not your mommy's gold, okay? This
I
is a
see it. I
meme
see it.
gold. This
I
is
see it.
meme. This
I
isn't
get it.
meme. Hmm?
It was
All
a
I'm saying
meme.
is I don't believe any level. Like yesterday, you said the line in the sand is 65 on S&P, and then I'm going to change my mind. Well, we traded there. You're not changing your mind. It's just the price.
Well, it
You
didn't
still
close
are
above that.
bearish, which is
And look
fine.
what happened right at that level. That was resistance
I
so
know
far.
you picked the dude. You picked it right. I don't know. I don't know how, dude. I don't know how you have that level. I mean, it's
I did,
less
but
than
I did.
20 basis points. I mean, it's not even real.
How
But
I got
anyway,
that level.
I don't know. You have 2 minutes, and then I have to go. So you could pick any topic in the next two
Well,
minutes
actually,
that
I'm
you
going to
want to
throw it
go
back to
over.
you. The chat wants to know what you think, and they want to know what you think about bonds.
I think bond yields are going higher. significantly higher. I think that, yesterday we traded 430. The line in the sand is 450. It's a no trade till we get to 450. If we get to 450, it means there's a breakdown. So I do think bonds are going higher. But what I want to wrap with today, okay, because I only literally have a minute. Um, I want to understand, like, in the thought process. Like right now, Nasdaq is down 101 and the S&P is up 3. Okay? I mean, what is that like? Why every day is it like this? Why, when the market looks like it's not good, do they have to buy something else? And that's my question. And like today, you can't, right now, you can't get off S&Ps because S&P looks stronger than Nasdaq. So if Nasdaq rallies 25, S&P will rally 4, and then all of a sudden that trade will go away. So that's what's bothering me. The pureness of the market is being taken out by a bunch of algos that are reallocating up to, Russell, or whatever. So that's what I think is important to look at. And for today's trade, I mean, I think there's a breakdown in technology, and I think it spills over to all sectors. But, for right now, they're, going into other things. So that's what I see. Um,
But
I
what other things? Like, can you be more specific into what
Yeah,
other things?
yeah, Russell, Dow Jones, value stocks, stocks that, like today you're saying drug stocks, and the only key that I'm seeing is they're leaving these stocks alone. They're not taking technology. Technology, listen, if the S&P sells off 10, the Nasdaq could be down 200 and basically go to yesterday's low. So you have to be careful out there. The trades that I'm seeing is I've been long gold and silver. I want to get out of those trades, take profits, and then look to short here for a trade. The straddle, I'm going to leave up to you, or the strangles, or the wings. I'm going to leave up to you with the iron condor. We will put a trade on today, but we're going to pick direction. Yesterday, for our subscribers, we gave them a little heart attack. We sold the put spread. The put spread went in the money. They probably freaked, and then it ended up being a max winner. So that worked, but it was definitely not the easiest trade. But one or two things is going to happen, and I have to go. Either Nasdaq is going to drag down the S&P, and the S&P is going to give it up at some point, or somehow the Nasdaq is going to hold on. I like Palantir as a short. I am shorting it. Okay, I think it's going to take the lows out. I think the earnings were bogus. Listening to Alex Karp on that thing was a scary thing. I don't know if you listened to him, but it's very
Yeah,
scary. He's a very scary individual.
he was talking a little too much. I didn't
Whatever.
like it.
He's just a scary individual. So
Although I
anyway,
agree with him on a lot of things. Like, I agree with him on just a slew of things. It's just that it felt like he was beating the same drum like we are.
dude,
He was
listen,
really
I was an
trying.
early investor in Palantir and I watched everything. They hated this guy. Okay. They couldn't wait to get rid of him. Now he's like the king. But anyway, I have to go. I wish
Too
you
much.
guys good trading today, and we'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy.